Remodeling Business Blueprint, Episode 50, Getting New Customers with Facebook and LinkedIn. Welcome to another episode of the Remodeling Business Blueprint podcast, the podcast for remodelers and trade contractors. Our goal is to help contractors have a strong, successful business with the assurance of a bright, enjoyable future. If you want to grow your construction business, keep listening. And if you want to grow your business even faster, visit scientificremodelingsystem.com and become a premium member. My name is Randall Souls, and I'm here with my good partner, David Hawke.
Hey, Randall, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I just love doing these podcasts, and we've got some great information to share today.
This one's going to be awesome, but I want to make an announcement before we get started on that. This week we did something that's been long overdue, and we made a private Remodeling Business Blueprint Facebook group. So what that does, actually, let me just tell you first, there will be a link to it in the show notes over on remodelingbusinessblueprint.com, episode 50, and you'll be able to see the button, join our Facebook group. I'll probably add that to all the podcasts afterwards, so just go to whatever Facebook or the podcast page and find it. But please join us there, because what it's going to do is going to be a place for remodelers, builders, and trade contractors, have great discussions and just share things about remodeling and make everybody's business a little better. And it's free, so.
Yeah, this is going to be great. It is long overdue, but it's just going to be so great to get people in there. We can talk privately to each other. This will not be public, so you can go ahead and rant and rave and ask questions, and I think it's going to be a super forum.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is not public, so everybody on Facebook can't see it. It's just the people within the group, so don't be afraid to share and ask questions.
David, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to talk about getting customers with Facebook and LinkedIn. And first, I kind of want to explain the difference. I believe if you're doing residential contracting or remodeling, that Facebook and Google Ads, there is just no better place to be right now. And I'll explain that in a minute. But the LinkedIn, if you're doing commercial projects, LinkedIn is just great because you can actually connect with specific people that have job titles that you want. So if they're building managers or whoever you want to contact, whether it's the CEO of a company, you can connect there, and I'll get into the benefits of that later. But to keep this in order, let's talk about Facebook and Google Ads first. And they're a little bit different in the fact that people get on Facebook to see funny cat videos and keep up with their family. So they're really not looking for remodeling at that point in time. So you really have to kind of catch their attention. And it's one reason video is so strong there. But if you're looking for Google Ads is a little different because people actually have something they're searching for. So it might be bathroom remodeling ideas, kitchen remodeling ideas. I did a video about this some time ago. There are a lot of people on Google searching those specific things, and we call that kind of an intent-based search because they're actually looking. They're hot prospects right now. Right. So it's a great place to be.
Well, David, you have mentioned the term stacked marketing. What does that mean?
Right. And it's something that's available today. It hasn't been available before. It's like if you run a Google ad for, say, kitchen remodels, and people search and they click your ad, typically they're going over to your website somewhere. Now, the majority of people will not actually call from that first interaction. And, statistics show it takes 8 to 12 contacts before somebody's ready to do business with you. But now we can speed that up, and that's what I mean by stacked marketing. So when somebody clicks on your Google ad and they go to your website, you can have a software in place that kind of registers those people and makes an audience of them. So you can have an audience of people who visited your kitchen remodeling page, people who visited your bathroom remodeling page, and you can actually go back to them and engage them again with ads and speed up the sales cycle.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about this when you get down to the LinkedIn advertising. But yeah. Facebook is incredible. You showed me the other day the stats you receive from Facebook when you put a pixel on their site. I may be getting ahead of myself, but
no, you're exactly right. The Facebook Pixel, it's a free little thing that Facebook gives. It's just a little piece of code that goes on a website. And I know a lot of remodelers and contractors are not coders, but if you've got a website and you've got somebody managing it, they will be able to put that on there. Just tell them it's what you want. They should be able to do it. If not, let us know. We'll help you get it done. But it's just so powerful. It gives you all kinds of statistics. It's the whether it's male or female mostly that are visiting your website. It gives you their age. It gives you how many people have visited. It gives you the time of day that people are visiting the most. And that's where you can make those custom audiences too. So like I said, if somebody lands on your bathroom remodeling page, Facebook will set a trigger that will allow you to get back to those people.
And this is all just by clicking on the page, right? You're just looking at the page. You're not clicking anything on the page, and you get all these statistics.
Right. All they have to do is land on the page. They don't have to do a thing. Facebook, Facebook, there are, I think it's 2.5 or so out of every 3 people is on Facebook. So Facebook really, in the United States that is, Facebook really knows who people are, and they don't mind, you setting up a little audience to collect those people. And they're not going to tell you their name and email and all that. They're just going to tell you about how many people are there, and they're going to allow you to run ads. And it's called a retargeting ad, but they are so powerful, and they're just super inexpensive because it's normally not that large of a group. So getting out there, you can do it for, sometimes $20 will do it.
David, now you're not getting the email. You're not building your email list by doing this, right?
No, but you can do systematic things. So we've been talking about kitchen remodeling. Let's go with that. Statistically, 3% of the population that you are or you have around you, 3% are looking and ready to do some type of a remodel, whether it's kitchen or whatever. 7% are thinking about it. So they're not ready, but they're thinking about it. And then 30% they're kind of indifferent, but if they see something, they could be interested and they could be kind of swayed that way. So if you think about that, when you're doing marketing and you put out an ad that says, we do kitchen remodeling, call us, it's only really good for 3% of the market. But if you put out a video that shows different kitchen remodeling, layouts and different things and what's possible, you're going to get a lot more of the 40% than you are. The 3% are still going to watch. They're interested. But now you can bump that up. And what you can do with this stacked marketing is anybody who watches those videos, I recommend video. Anybody who watches that, you can tell how long you can set up to track how long they watched it. So you can figure if somebody watches one of your videos for 75, 90% of it, they're probably a really hot prospect to go after. So you can send marketing back to them that says, hey, let me come out and do a quote.
So you can target just the people who looked at it X% of time. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that is powerful.
Isn't it? And you can also tell, if somebody watches it 10%, maybe 25%. Those people probably have an interest, but they're not really hot prospects yet. So what you can do is actually send out more videos, because you're making audiences of all these people. You can send out more videos that just go to them, that kind of leads them through that sales cycle and speeds it up, gets those 8 to 12 contacts done, and gets you to the point of you've got lists of people that are just hot prospects, and you're ready to tell them, hey, let me come out and get this thing set up for you.
Let me clarify one other thing, David.
Okay.
A pixel, we think of a pixel as a point on our screen, right?
Right.
But they don't see this pixel. It's just something that's working behind the scenes, right?
Yes, it's completely behind the scenes. People do not even know it's there, and I can see it on people's websites. There are programs that will tell you if somebody's running a Facebook pixel or not, but the average person is not going to see it there.
And does this cost anything to put a pixel on your site?
No, not unless you're actually paying somebody to do it for you. Facebook doesn't charge anything for it. So it's just that's one of the powerful things too. Even if people are not marketing, you may want to in the future, and just start growing those lists. I mean, you can go build audiences in Facebook based on website traffic and things like that, without spending a dime. So when you are ready to advertise, you have prospective audiences to go to, and your marketing is going to be a lot less because of that.
Do you have any videos explaining this in more detail?
I actually do. I'll link that again, show notes for episode 50 at remodelingbusinessblueprint.com. And people can actually go see how this works and the power of it. I'm going to actually run people through an actual, well, it's going to be a simulated ad campaign, but I'm building that so that it looks like a remodeler or a home designer would run this ad. And it's actually going to be built through Facebook Messenger. And that's probably what we should talk about next, because this gets incredibly strong for people, because now you can use comment triggers to actually make a post go more viral and get somebody to do something and bring them and actually have a message or a conversation with them in Facebook Messenger. So
Messenger is just a texting program like Apple texting, Apple.
Yeah,
Messages.
essentially, if you're texting people, it's the platform is no different. It's just Facebook's version of it. But the reason you want to get potential customers into Messenger is because once there's been a two-way conversation, so either they've contacted you and you responded, or you sent them a message and they responded, then they're seen as a messenger group, and you can actually continue the conversation with them, and you can send them messages. You can actually advertise to these people, which is, and we've seen you can reach 900, 1,000 people for $9. We've done that. And the really powerful thing is open rates on this are pretty much just like text messages. If you think about it, it's coming right through to somebody's smartphone, and people typically have their phone within arm's reach, and typical open rates are 97% on Facebook Messenger.
That's so different from email.
Golly, isn't it? Yeah, the average email is like 20%, and a lot of people don't get that much. So if you're really wanting to connect with people, it also gives you a captive audience, because they're not looking at somebody else's ad. Like if they're on Google, it's your ad and probably 2 or 3 other contractors' ads there, and then all the search results. So there's a lot of places they can go. but this gives you a really captive audience. And let me go back, Randall, because I was talking about comment triggers, but I didn't really explain that. So when you do a post, maybe let's go back to the kitchen remodel. If you're showing somebody different kitchen remodel ideas and you do a quick 3-4 minute little video on that, well, you can not only track and create the audience of people and how long they listened or watched your video, but you can now tell them, comment yes below, and we'll send you a free kitchen remodel ideas guide. And just when they comment on that Facebook post, then that's going to trigger the comment. Well, that's why it's called a comment trigger. That's going to trigger a program in the background. It's going to see that, and it will automatically start that messenger conversation with them. And most of that conversation can be completely automated. When it's time that they're ready to come through as a customer and they have questions, the program will actually trigger and whoever an admin is and tell them, hey, this person needs to talk to you, or you need to talk with them.
So, David, they would put this video on their company Facebook page.
Yes.
Okay. That's where you start.
Yes. And then, like I said, in the comments, it would just be, if you'd like a kitchen and bath remodel idea guide, comment yes below, and we'll send it right to your messenger. And it is amazing how well this works. We actually did something similar. We did a contest. It wasn't a giveaway for a free guide or anything, but we did a contest using this. And we actually got 496 leads in just 24 hours, which I know seems insane, but truly 496 leads in 24 hours. And now we can also continue the conversation with these people, every day if we want to. Yeah,
that client has profited very nicely from your marketing.
He's done well.
Well, David, we call the video or a message there, we call it a post on Facebook. How can you boost a post? How can you get it out to more places?
Well, if you actually just put a post on your page, and Facebook will give you there's a button below that'll say boost this post, and you can boost it multiple different ways. And I recommend actually targeting the audience you want to boost it to, because if you just boost it, it goes to everybody. And a lot of people may see it, but they're probably not really targeted prospects for you. So if you're working in homes that are, let's just say upper middle class, you can target those home values. You can target people in age brackets and net worth and income and all different kinds of things. So if you're going to boost it, kind of play with those audiences a little bit and make sure it's getting out to the right people so that, you're making the best use of your ad budgets.
Yeah, you want to target people very carefully, because if you don't, you're going to waste money. People are going to click just to see what's there, and they're not a prospective buyer.
Right. Let me just say, too, over on episode 50 at remodelingbusinessblueprint.com, all the stuff we talked about, comment triggers and messenger and all that, I know that's probably, if somebody hasn't dealt with that, it's probably a little bit confusing. So go over to episode 50 and just click the button that says ad campaign for remodelers and home designers. And it's actually going to walk you through an example ad and everything else. And it's going to show you the process as if you were a lead. So you'll actually get to see what that person would get to see and how it works. And I'm telling you, it is just amazing. And I really don't know anything that is as cost effective right now as that. So.
And that's under our resources tab.
Yes.
On Remodeling Business Blueprint.
Exactly. So does that bring anything else about that, or should we go on to LinkedIn?
Let's move on to LinkedIn now.
Okay. Well, LinkedIn, I don't know if you've tried cold calling businesses lately, but
Oh my goodness.
it is nearly impossible to get through to anybody, and it's just nightmarishly frustrating. I mean, you can call people and they see who's calling, and they can block your number, and they just don't answer most of the time. And if they do, you've normally caught them at a point in time that they're not really wanting to talk to you, and it can just be it can be painful
For both parties.
Definitely. I mean, they're aggravated because you've interrupted them. You're aggravated because they're being rude to you, and it's just not such a good thing. But LinkedIn, you can actually go out and do searches and connect with building managers and whoever else you want. And you can connect with owners of businesses. And the benefit is, once you've connected with somebody, LinkedIn gives you all kinds of information about that person, and it'll give you their website and different things. But more than that, it'll give you their email address, it'll give you their phone number, and a lot of times it's their cell phone. So, it's great when you get that information. You can actually message them directly through LinkedIn, and then you could follow that up with an email to them, and then follow that up with a phone call saying, hey, I sent you this email, just wanted to make sure you got it. If you've got any questions, it's just a better way to connect with people.
Mm-hmm. And LinkedIn, you may think, well, I want consumers, I don't want owners of business. But if you are in doing a good business, and maybe with the medium or high-end market, you want those owners. Those are the people that buy new kitchens, baths, additions, and whole house remodeling.
Yeah, and it definitely could work for residential. We typically use LinkedIn for commercial just because it just works so well for that. And there's very few outlets you can go to advertise for commercial construction. So if anybody is interested in any of these things, and you have questions about it, reach out. I'm happy to talk to you about this stuff. I love it, and it's I'm really in very deep with it. So I know a lot about it. I've done it for a lot of years. Feel free to ask any questions on the website or podcast or anything, or just shoot me an email.
Yeah, a great place is, of course, as we mentioned earlier, is our Remodeling Business Blueprint group on Facebook. That's going to be an excellent place. And when David shares something, then everyone can benefit from it.
Right. And I will be sharing different things like that. I'm actually going to share that ad campaign that I was talking about. I'll share that in the group. And, there's various other things that we've got in there. We've got the your telephone script that, golly, tell me, Randall, how much money did that telephone script make you? Just
well, let me just say it made me a living for about 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, that thing is so strong. So, that's available for free in the group. It's just, there's a lot of value to being a part of that group. So come on over there. Well, Randall, that brings us to the end of another terrific Remodeling Business Blueprint episode. Let me just kind of tell you real quick, if you're looking to grow your business faster, check out the Scientific Remodeling System. You can find it at scientificremodelingsystem.com. That is Randall's process that he used for about 34 years, I think, that he grew that and how he grew his business. And it just works. I used a lot of that when I was remodeling. And thanks to Randall, I had a very successful business. And if you would like us on Facebook, you can find us over at facebook.com/remodeling business blueprint. And you can leave us a comment there about your remodeling experiences. Share your remodeling experiences with, your peers. And if you have any questions or comments, you can comment under each episode at remodelingbusinessblueprint.com, or just hit the contact button at the top of that page, and that will contact both Randall and I. If you just feel like going straight to email, you can find us at feedback@remodelingbusinessblueprint.com. And if you're a premium member of Scientific Remodeling System, you'll get priority replies at premium@remodelingbusinessblueprint.com. And remember to join the Remodeling Business Blueprint Facebook group. I know we've mentioned that about 1,000 times, but I just can't tell you how powerful that's going to be to have a group of fellow remodelers, builders, and trade contractors, and just have a great discussion with questions and answers. And then lastly, we'd really love it if you'd review the show on iTunes. You can find it over there and just do a quick review on it. And I guess that brings me to my final and probably biggest point. I really want to thank everybody who's listening. We really appreciate you. And, share the show with anybody you think might benefit from it. And join us next week as we will be discussing email marketing or direct mail, which one works best. So until next week, Randall, say goodbye.
Ciao.
See you.